In today's video, I'm going to walk you through step by step how to make your very own leather dice bag. And stick around to the end because at the end of this video, I'll be giving away this dice bag to one of you. So the first thing we're going to do is create a quick stencil for the shape of our bag. All I'm using here is a piece of regular paper folded in half. Folding like this helps us cut both sides perfectly symmetrical, which is exactly what we want for something like a small pouch. Now from the fold edge, I'm measuring about 2 inches across and then about 5 inches down. This will give us a nice outline for the size of our bag here, and then that will just give us a nice box to work within as we actually plan out the shape of this bag. Now for the most part, it's going to be pretty much U-shaped, but I will play with it a little bit and kind of give it a little bit of an S curve up the side here, just to make the very bottom of the pouch slightly larger. And this step is actually the most important part of the entire build, because this is where you decide the final size and shape of your bag. If you want something bigger for a larger dice set, you can scale it up. And if you want a smaller coin purse, you can shrink it down. But once you're happy with that shape, just cut it out and you'll have a stencil ready to transfer onto your leather. For today's bag, I'm using about 1/8 inch thick leather in this brownish gray tone. I picked this piece up from Hobby Lobby, but really any scrap leather like this will work great. And now we can trace our stencil onto the leather. I'm just using a Sharpie here to outline the shape, and then we'll cut it out. And I'll actually be using just some kitchen scissors for this, which works surprisingly well for softer leather like this. But if you're doing a lot of leather work, you might want to use a utility knife or a proper leather knife even. Now, once that first piece is cut, we'll repeat the process for the second half of the bag. Now, when we sew these together, we're actually going to be placing the outside faces of the leather together. That might feel a little backwards at first, but once everything is sewn up, we'll flip the bag inside out, and then that will hide the seam and give us a clean exterior. Now, next up, we're going to punch the holes for stitching. For that, I'll be using a plastic punch board, a rubber mallet, and a 3-hole leather punch. Now, I'm lining up the punch about 2 millimeters from the edge of the leather and then following the curve all the way around the shape. To keep the spacing consistent, I place the last prong of the punch into the final hole from the previous strike. That way, each new set of holes lines up perfectly and the stitching stays evenly spaced. For thread, I'll be using the brown wax thread along with a pair of leather needles. A good rule of thumb is to measure the length of the seam you just punched, add a few extra inches, and then double that length so you have plenty of thread to stitch the whole thing together in the end. And now we can start stitching the two pieces together. So you're going to take your needle and begin running the thread back and forth through each set of the holes along the seam. Nothing fancy here, just a steady rhythm as you move from one hole to the next, pulling the thread snug each time so the leather pulls together cleanly. As you work your way down the edge, you'll start to see the seam take shape. The two pieces stop feeling like scraps of leather and begin to feel like a single object. Once you reach the end, go ahead and reverse direction and stitch back through those same holes in the opposite direction. This doubles the thread along the seam and creates a really strong stitch line all the way around the edge of the bag. It's a simple step, but it makes a huge difference. Instead of looking loose or unfinished, the seam ends up looking tight, clean, and intentional. This is one of those small details that really gives handmade leather pieces that look professional. Now, if you're interested in trying leather work like this yourself, I'll put the links to the leather tools, punches, thread, and a few beginner kits down in the description below. Most of this gear is actually pretty affordable, and projects like this are a great entry point if you've never worked with leather before. When you get back to where you started, pull the thread tight one last time and then trim the excess. I like to grab a set of pliers or something I can just really get a good hold of it and just really cinch it down nice and tight. From there, just trim it down one last time. Then take a lighter and carefully mill the end of the thread just enough to seal it. You're not trying to burn it, just soften it slightly so that it locks itself in place and it won't unravel over time. And then now for the satisfying part. We can flip the whole bag inside out so the seam is hidden on the inside. Once you push the corners out a bit, you can start to see the final shape of the pouch come together. Now once this is finished, this little pouch can be used for all kinds of things. It's perfect for holding a set of dice at the table, a handful of coins for a game, or how I use it, small trinkets and tokens at Renaissance fairs. Now next we need some holes for the drawstring. I'll be using a size 3 leather punch and placing one hole on each side near the seam. There's no exact measurement here, I'm mostly eyeballing it, but it's roughly probably 2 centimeters away from the edge of the bag once it's been flattened. Just make sure to press it through nice and clean so you're not double pressing or punching that. And then from here, I'll flip the bag inside out again and add 2 more holes in between the first one so the drawstring can weave through the pouch. Now I'm not measuring these ones either, just still eyeballing it just about what looks right. And then I'll be adding the drawstring itself. For that, I'll be using the 1.5mm brown round leather cord. Weave it through the hole so that on one side it wraps around the outside of the bag while the other 2 ends come out of the other side. When the bag is open, I like to leave about 10 centimeters or so of cord sticking out so there's plenty of room to grab it when you're tightening it and enough to work with while we add the seal and the knot at the end of this. Now to keep the bag securely closed, I'll be adding the small leather button type piece to the cord. It's a simple little detail, but it adds both function and a little bit of character to the piece. To attach it, I'm just folding the leather piece in half, kind of like a taco, and feeding both ends of the cord through the holes. When the cord pulls tight, the leather grips it in places and creates a natural stopper. That way, when you cinch the bag closed, the cord won't slide back through. It's a really simple trick, but it gives the pouch a much more finished, handcrafted feel. And once it's on there, you've got a closure that looks right at home in a medieval style pouch. And now to finish off this bag, all we have to do is tie a little bit of a loop knot here at the end and pull it tight. I like to use some pliers with this just to help get a really good cinch on there. And I like to place a knot so that when the bag is fully open, there's just enough space for the button to slide comfortably, but still keep everything secure when it's closed. Exactly where you end up putting it really comes down to personal preference. And just like that, we've got a finished leather dice bag. Now, if you'd like a chance to win this exact bag along with the free set of dice, here's how to enter. Just like this video, leave a comment down below, and share the video. I'll randomly choose a winner on March 31st of this year, and the giveaway is US only. And if you enjoy immersive tabletop builds like this, make sure you subscribe to the Craft Cave so you don't miss future builds, props, and giveaways. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.